Gatti, of course, is a notorious bleeder, but he says he's decided that the best way to avoid bleeding is to not be hit as much. Sounds like the right plan, George.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Gatti 25 out of 62. Millett 14 out of 55. Most notably, Gatti threw 32 jabs, landed 10 of them. Referee Jim Santa warning Millett not to hold and hit.
Millett has found the wrong fight to fight tonight. You got to hit and move out of the way and make Gatti start to go back and revert to his old habits.
Yeah, you could hear that Millett's father and trainer, Marvin Millett, was not happy between rounds. Basically saying, why didn't you go in and do what you said you were going to do?
When a fighter is trying to box, you move around and make him decide, look, I'm a fighter, that's what I am. And that's what Millett is not doing.
You heard Артуро Gatti's new trainer, Buddy McGirt, urging him to keep jabbing and keep moving to his right. Circling to his right, apparently to stay away from Millett's right hand. McGirt has apparently made the deduction that Millett's more dangerous from the right side than the left.
There's those athletic moves I was telling you about.
There's a good short right hand by Millett. Yep.
Always a little bit out of the way, like an athlete.
Looks as though the left eye of Gatti is beginning to puff.
Gatti's in charge now. He's got the power punches in the body. 2 rounds of body shots. Left jab. He's in control.
And a left hook to the body sets up a big left hook upstairs there by Артуро Gatti. And the right uppercut lands flush. Teron Millett taking a lot of power shots here in the middle stages of round 2. Another left hook to the body lands deep. And again the uppercut follows, and Millett is in trouble as he backs up to the ropes.
I think he didn't understand the power that Gatti had. Someone didn't tell him.
Now Millett lands a big left hook that backs Gatti up.
Well, Millett is showing the same kind of ability to bounce back that we've expected from Gatti. He took some serious punishment in the middle of the round and came back and landed an excellent combination on Gatti.
But this is the kind of fight that Gatti needs. I mean, he wants you to mix it up with him, letting him rest, come back, let him get his power back.
5 seconds, fellas. 3 seconds.
Millett is not fighting a smart fight at all.
2 seconds.
Next Saturday night, and we are so excited about this. 2 of the best in the business put their respective undisputed titles on the line. Special doubleheader next Saturday night featuring Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins in separate fights from 2 locations. First, from Reading, Pennsylvania, Hopkins puts the undisputed middleweight championship on the line against Carl Daniels. Then from Miami, Roy Jones faces off with Glenn Kelly for the 175-pound titles. That's next Saturday night. Jones and Hopkins in 2 big title bouts from 2 different locations. HBO, the heart and soul of boxing, and the net result of that, Larry Merchant, is that in 8 days here on HBO, you get to see the 3 fighters generally regarded by pound-for-pound ranking as the top 3 fighters in the sport: Mosley, Hopkins, and Jones.
I couldn't have said it better, Jim.
Incidentally, what's your ranking these days?
I've got Mosley, Hopkins, and Jones.
In that order?
In that order. Hopkins based on his winning streak and his great victory over Felix Trinidad.
Now Millett is starting to use his left jab a little bit. Think. Whenever you see a boxer using his left jab, that means he's thinking. Just throwing rights and left means he's fighting.
Incidentally, the Ring Magazine, Bible of the sport, concurs with Larry Merchant on the pound-for-pound rankings. 1 Mosley, 2 Hopkins, 3 Jones at this moment.
Oh, that uppercut by Gatti just missed. Good body, right hand to the body. Those are the kind of shots that take away your power if the fight goes beyond 7 or 8 rounds.
And that's one
Gatti
big difference.
Putting those kind of shots in.
One big difference in the two fighters, George. Gatti remembers to go to the body frequently. Millett almost never goes to the body.
He's a headhunter. Yep. He's not looking anywhere but he got his head.
Mixed in a right hand to the body there, but by and large, Millett is trying to land thunder on Thunder Gatti upstairs. And he lands it with the right hand.
The best right hand of the fight.
Well, that's not exactly hard to hit.
Sometimes your corners, your trainers just don't tell you the extent of the power a guy has. And I think that was left out with Mullet. They didn't tell him that Gatti can hurt you with 1 punch.
Gatti showing some discipline, the kind of fighter he was. Once again, when he gained everybody's attention in his fights against Tracy Patterson.
Whoa! Big left hook by Gatti, and this time Millett goes forward onto his face.
5, 6, 7.
It wasn't that punch
8.
that did it.
Okay, where are you? Okay, let's go. I'm watching it.
Jimmy Santa asking Millett where he is. Millett says New York City. I think you're absolutely right, George. I don't think Millett anticipated Gatti's power at all.
It was the first few punches of the first round he hasn't recovered from. Referee is really looking good.
And Gatti gets target practice here as Jim Santa watches closely, and the round comes to a close, saving Millett for the moment.
Referee Jimmy Santa calling in a ringside physician.
We there, Doc. We there. You got to move, Trent. You trying to power the man. He's good. You understand what I'm saying? You got that power.
Showing patience and poise as a boxer, still carrying thunder. Arturo Gatti with an opponent who comes to him, and now he will try to close the show.
In round 3 by CompuBox numbers, Gatti landed 28 out of 46 power shots, 61%. Harold, how do you have it scored through 3?
Okay, Jim, 3 rounds to nothing, 30-26 Arturo Gatti. Jim, in the second round, I thought it was close to a 10-8 round when Terrell Millett was nearly out, but he came back with a good left hook. In the third round, score a 10-8. But I got to tell you, at the very end of the round, when Terrell Millett went into those ropes, Jimmy Santa could have called that a knockdown as well. Only 1 knockdown so far, so round 3, 10-8.
More big shots from Gatti landing flush on Millett. George Foreman.
This state is aware of the power of Gatti. He's done in some guys in this state, and the referee should be closing in on this is not going to happen again.
They're watching carefully. And even though Gatti's landed big shots toward the end of the last round and here early, it's really the accumulation of punishment that's doing this.
And we've seen what he could do here a couple of years ago.
Probably the best Arturo Gatti has looked since the second of his 2 great fights with Ivan Robinson. Both of those fights were won by Robinson, who frankly outboxed the stronger Gatti.
Gatti's doing some good body punching here too, so it's not like the fight is going to get out of his hand. Mullet's just going to get the worst of this as the minutes go by.
Millett is a tough, determined fighter who is taking some wicked punishment.
And he doesn't seem to have a plan B. I mean, there doesn't seem to be some wrinkle that Millett can bring to this at the moment that will change what's happening in the ring.
He's got to hold on. You got to hold on.
Down again.
That could be it.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me, look at me. Matt, where are you?
Well, he still knows he's in Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
But I don't think the referee knows where he is. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah, this is unnecessary at this point. And that will do it. Jim Santa stopping it on what amounts to the third knockdown. And as Harold Letterman pointed out, could easily have been ruled 4 knockdowns. As Arturo Gatti annihilates Tyron Millett in his best-looking performance in quite a while.
It's all about boxing this time. The first round, moving around the ring, saving his head.
And throwing more than 30 jabs.
And being in condition, which gives you self-confidence, and finding the weight where he should be at 140. To say nothing of finding an opponent who was ideal for him tonight.
And cut man Joe Souza grabs Gatti and hugs him and says, I can't believe it, you didn't get cut. Souza with a rare night of no work in a Gatti fight. CompuBox numbers in round 4. Arturo Gatti closed the show, landing 23 out of 32 power shots. He can be a factor at 140 if he boxes like that, huh, George?
Especially if there's a lot of mullets around. Mullets.
And here's the first knockdown of Tyron Millett here in round number 4.
Backs up with his left hand down. That means hit me with the right hand, please.
And Arturo obliged him. Here's another look at that.
There it goes. Got to tell your fighters, you back up, keep your hands up. There's left hooks, overhand rights, combinations. Gotti is looking like Ray Leonard.
Well, sort of.
Throwing combinations and getting out of the way, not being hit. That's all you can ask of a boxer.
No, it's a brilliant performance for Arturo.
Combinations.
And Tyron Millett at age 33 has had some wars. Maybe he's going to be moving on toward other things to do because he's really the kind of guy who sees himself as a championship caliber fighter. I don't think Tyron is going to want to stick around.
These were all headshots there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to take a while to recover from those.
Yep.
And the body punches, the foundations were laid in the first 2 rounds.
Now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official particulars on Gatti's victory.
Referee Jimmy Santa, following the second knockdown in round number 4, calls a halt to the bout. At 2 minutes and 23 seconds of that round, the winner by knockout victory, the ultimate blood and guts warrior from Jersey City, New Jersey, former champion Arturo Gatti.
Final CompuBox numbers will show you statistical dominance by Gatti, landing twice as many, throwing 67 more, landing at a nearly 50% rate, painting Millett with power punches in the last 2 rounds of the fight, and scoring the easy technical knockout victory over Millett. And let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with Thunder Gatti.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Arturo. Where's the blood?
Thank God there's no blood tonight. I did what I was taught to do. Buddy McGirt told me tonight to box, use my ability to box, and I did, and everything went right.
So not getting hit as much is the best plan as far as your tissue is concerned.
Definitely, I didn't get cut tonight. I hope I learned a good lesson tonight. I won, and I wasn't hurt.
I'm told that Buddy McGirt, the former welterweight title holder, showed you a lot of his own action photos and that you learned from him. What did you learn from him?
Well, I learned to be calm in the ring, to just think with your head and hit when it's time to hit, not hit just because you was hit. And that's what I learned, to be calm in the ring. And actually in the room, he was very calm, and I was calm myself in the dressing room. So I came into the ring very calm. And after the first round, I almost went on a slugfest, and thank God I didn't, because I kept my composure after the first round, but he told me to relax, and I did, and everything worked out all right.
And is this the weight now that you feel you can be comfortable at and still strong?
Yes, definitely. This is my first time coming down at 140. It's been a long time, and my punching power is back, and on my next fight, I'll be even stronger.
Speaking of your next fight, who would you like to fight now?
I'd like to fight Jesse Leia, Mickey Ward. It's really up to whoever wants to fight me. I'll fight both of them.
Did this fight revive your career?
Definitely it revived me, to revive everybody around me, because I have a lot of boxing left in me, and I need a good win. And I found my weight class, 140, and I'm definitely going to win a world title again.
Thank you very much, Arturo.
Thank you.
Tail of the tape for the upcoming semi-main event. 30-year-old Tracy Harris Patterson against 23-year-old Arturo Gatti. Patterson 5 feet 5 inches tall, Gatti with a 3-inch height advantage. Patterson weighed in a quarter pound below the weight of Gatti, and they are equal in reach at 68 inches. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
These numbers will indicate that Gatti is more of a brawler and winger, Patterson more of the boxer. You can see the numbers here very close, but for a guy who throws a lot of heavy punches, Gatti lands a very high percentage. Take a look at the jabs, and you'll see that Tracy Patterson, who can punch, works better off the jab. Patterson has fought much higher degree of opponents.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Tracy Harris Patterson Arturo Gatti fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the last round. Jim.
All right, Harold, and one of the nice things about Madison Square Garden, relatively short walks to the ring from the fighters' dressing rooms. Here comes Arturo Gatti, born and raised in Montreal. His family has been related at times in the past via marriage to the famous Fighting Hilton family of Montreal, and he grew up sparring and fighting with some of the Hilton brothers, but he has now based himself in New Jersey looking for better fighting opportunities in the United States, and this is a young man potentially on the verge of stardom.
An exciting young fighter, started when he was 8 years old. Potential to be a big crowd-pleasing fighter, but he's just going a step up in class tonight.
You look at the record for Arturo Gatti. His only loss was to a fighter named King Solomon, who laid a landmine for him in Philadelphia. Among those 20 knockouts, 14 of them in the first round. An exceptionally fast starter. And if you've followed boxing in the state of New York for the past decade or so, you may be aware of Tracy Harris Patterson, adopted son of former world heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson, coming off of that 7th round TKO against Robinales. Earlier on in the summer, he had a big win to seize his present 130-pound title over Eddie Hobson, a knockout that helped to rejuvenate Patterson's career. He had been in a little bit of a lull before then, and this is the first time he'll be fighting in Madison Square Garden since he won a Golden Gloves championship here in 1985.
His adopted Floyd Patterson, the former heavyweight champion, first man to recapture the heavyweight championship, now the commissioner of boxing here. But the human story is they don't speak. Young Patterson was part of a family of migrant laborers picking apples in northern New York when he wandered into Floyd's gymnasium. 3 years later, Floyd adopted him, was his trainer and manager until last summer. They had a parting of the ways, a parting that has not yet been breached.
And the record for Tracy Harris Patterson, ring veteran with 58 professional prize fights, 39 knockouts among his 54 victories in the ring. And right now, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated, along with our undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, this Bud's for you, presents the return to the Mecca of boxing as the Friday night fights return to the most famous address in the most famous city in the world, Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York. This first bout is presented in association with Main Events, and tonight's entire show is dedicated to Top Ranks and Madison Square Garden's greatest matchmaker watching at home tonight, Boxing Hall of Famer Mr. Teddy Brenner. This bout, as all bouts, are sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Chairman, former two-time world heavyweight champion of the world, Floyd Patterson, and the International Boxing Federation President, Robert W. Lee. Supervisor at ringside, Marion Mohammed. The three judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Leroy Brown, Melvina Latham, and Steve Weisfeld. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Wayne Kelly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Madison Square Garden of New York City, 12 rounds of boxing for the Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, trimmed with blue, and weighing in at 130 pounds. Fighting out of Jersey City, New Jersey, he brings an outstanding record of 23 victories with only one defeat, and 20 of those 23 victories are by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the IBF #1 ranked junior lightweight in the world, Arturo Gatti. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue, trimmed with white letters, and weighing in at 129 3/4 pounds. His professional record also outstanding. 54 victories against only 3 defeats with 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, from Highland Park, New York, presenting two-time world champion and reigning junior lightweight champion of the world, Tracy Harris Patterson.
All right, Tracy, Arturo, we're boxing for the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, come out boxing at the bell. Good luck, 12 rounds.
Jim, the building has done its part. The fans have done their part. It's up to the fighters now.
Let's go, seconds out.
We told you about how fast a starter Gatti is. He has a damaging left hook. He will come out and try to land it early. Patterson will look for Gatti to make a mistake and try to counter. He's particularly effective with the right hand.
I think Tracy Patterson could have been caught off balance, hoping that this guy would charge him the first couple of rounds. This isn't happening so far. You prepare for one thing and you get another.
Gatti starting off with the jab. That could have surprised Patterson in previous fights. Gatti has often dispensed with the jab to go straight to the power shots. Now he's starting to work that left hook and mix it in with the jab.
The scariest thing to happen in the ring is to be caught by the unexpected. Patterson is being caught by the unexpected tonight.
And now Patterson appears to have decided that he's going to need to work his own jab and start his own offense, having seen something different than he might have expected from Gatti starting off. So far, Gatti continues to seize the initiative as he's getting off first when they meet in the center of the ring.
That's the only thing about being a good counterpuncher. You always got to wait until you're hit or someone miss you before you do something.
Stiff jab by Gatti. Patterson answers with a slightly more tentative version. 2 minutes into round one, and Arturo Gatti, with a reputation in the background of a slugger, has been content to box so far, and effectively so. Patterson not terribly anxious to extend that jab, George.
Trying to get closer and wait until he can counter a shot. And this guy's got a good left jab, Gatti, and this left jab can do a lot of damage in 1 or 2 rounds. Swell your eyes.
You might have heard of a junior middleweight fighter named Lightning Joe Gatti, brother of, beaten in a title shot by Terry Norris a couple of years ago. Missing. Gatti landing in close. Throughout the first round, Arturo Gatti able to land with his jab and effectively counter on those occasions when Patterson has tried to get off.
Time.
How you feel? Looking very good. All I need you to do, don't worry about leading. Just take that jab on your hand. Don't bend down before he jabs, okay? A little bit of because you don't see what you're doing, okay? And throw me high at his shoulder, remember. Hey, you're doing good. Keep working that jab. You understand what I said? Hand high and throw me combination. Finish with the punch. You're fine. All right? You're the boss out there. Just hands up, move your head. Always move in a little bit. You move your head. Move in and don't move it back out. Right? Okay.
5 seconds out.
We were told that Gatti was trilingual, raised in an Italian household. He speaks fluent Italian, raised in Montreal, speaks fluent French, also speaks fluent American, but we've seen here tonight that he speaks fluent boxing as well.
Though he dominated round one, Gatti comes back with a small mouse under his left eye. He's been throwing a relatively low number of jabs, fewer than 20 per round in previous bouts coming in. He threw 40 jabs in round one. So as George Foreman accurately pointed out, Arturo Gatti changing up on Tracy Harris Patterson and thus taking the advantage early in the fight.
Patterson is having to wait until that jab makes some contact to his face or shoulder before he throws a punch. This is what's causing him not to be consistent right now. He doesn't know when this guy's close enough to punch until he taps him.
What could he do differently, George?
He should just initiate the fight. Just get closer, stay closer with punches. Don't wait for the other guy.
Saw Patterson there with a right hand lead. Hasn't tried that tactic much. Crowd beginning to boo, and down goes Patterson on an uppercut. He walked right into it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You feel all right, Tracy?
That's what I call quieting the boos before they can even gather any force.
Patterson's been knocked down in the past by Hector Acero and Daniel Zaragoza, so that's at least the 3rd knockdown of his career.
He's spending a lot of time trying to get that range. And the punch that he was knocked down with wasn't a real hard shot. It was just right on the point of him trying to step in for extra closeness to get his shot in.
Now Gatti coming back with power shots again. Tracy Harris Patterson standing in, and he lands a stiff jab. Sometimes a knockdown will motivate a fighter to step it up another gear and make him effective. Patterson looks a lot quicker on his feet now than he did before the knockdown.
Well, the one thing about it, if you get into a fight with your kids, the parents have always got to initiate the conversation again. You just can't go on like this. That's affecting Patterson tonight. His dad right there, not talking to him. He's shy tonight.
That's a huge distraction, isn't it?
Right. Always go back and talk to your kids. I've learned that lesson tonight myself. I've been guilty, but I will change.
Tracy Harris Patterson telling all reporters here in New York, not just us, that he hasn't spoken to his father for several months.
And it's up to the parents to go and initiate the conversation.
Now Patterson starting to land more effectively. That was a solid jab to the chin of Gatti. In this round, Tracy Harris Patterson doing a lot better than he did in round 1 when he only landed 3 out of 21 attempted punches.
I don't know how you can get that stool up. That's a long run. Listen, it's all right. You're doing good. Keep those hands up. Give me a little mouthpiece. Yep. Keep those hands up, okay? Keep those hands up and move a little closer. So you're going to make your move. Okay.
Take a look at knockdown as he comes through with a surprise uppercut right there. Just stunned Patterson momentarily. He was caught flat-footed with his feet square to the fighter. Beautifully conceived and beautifully delivered punch, George.
No doubt about it.
Mouthpiece. All right, you're the boss.
5 seconds out.
You're the boss out there.
An experienced warrior against a hungry young fighter. Right now, the hungry young fighter is ahead.
And as much talk as there was about De La Hoya and his arrival in New York for the past week, boxing people have been fascinated by this bout, which is regarded by a lot of experts as a pick-em bout. Hard to tell who's going to have the advantage. Hard left hook by Gatti. Patterson says when Gatti gets tired, he has a tendency to wing shots, and that should give him a better chance to counter up the middle. Gatti's urge to finish readily apparent every time he plants his feet and throws a combination. He's looking to knock the man out, George.
He's throwing a good left jab, and as he got Patterson trying to defend himself against that jab, he can sneak in anything else. Uppercuts, hooks, and that's what's doing it. The left jab, if only he would stop jabbing me, Patterson is probably saying.
Begins to work his own jab.
This is the first time that Patterson has started to take charge with his jab. But then he's having to step in, and this young guy's thinking, okay, now I can hit with uppercuts again.
Patterson aggressive for moments at a time, but then he tends to back off. Gatti is looking to do damage all the time.
See, Patterson, every time he throws a jab, he has to step in. Gatti, he just stands his ground and jab. So there's not much chance of him getting it, paying the price.
Round 3 coming to a close. The chance of a Gatti knockout statistically goes way down once you get past the 3rd round. Hard left hook, backs Patterson up, and now Patterson fires a hard left hook of his own. Hard right hand by Patterson, and Gatti stunned by that one. So finally, Tracy Harris Patterson is finding the opportunities to counter George, and the complexion of the fight changes dramatically.
He's doing what he should have done initially. Get out there, jump on this guy. Don't wait on him to jump you. And sometimes the surprise is this is a fight. It's not a boxing match after all.
He's also begun to throw to the body every once in a while, and that's making a big difference in Patterson's attack.
Wait, I don't want you to go for the hard. Match it up first, okay? Relax, huh? Don't do me that mistake no more. Try to fight with him, okay? Take run for run, I told you. You understand what I said? Relax. Looking good, okay?
12-round fight, buddy. Relax.
See, work that jab. Work that jab. Fend. You don't know what.
The gloves. They're taking the gloves off.
Hey, what happened there?
Let's watch Gatti in operation here. And there's the right hand, a good, stiff, hard, solid right hand. There's something going on in the corner. There's something going on in the corner of Patterson.
What they do? They cut a string. They cut it. You have an inspector in there. That's his job. Hector, out of the ring. Out of the ring, Hector. Out of the ring. Out of the ring.
That's Gatti's trainer, Hector Roca.
Let's go.
Going berserk about what he saw happening in Patterson's corner. Now Roca.
So berserk that he forgot to put the mouthpiece in Gatti's face. Gatti gets it belatedly. Patterson waits like a gentleman. He better stop fighting like a gentleman.
How did Gatti's corner man get over in Patterson's corner? I'd like to know that.
He walked across the ring. And referee Wayne Kelly was quite solicitous in helping him back over to his corner, but didn't penalize him in any way.
He's been observing what you ought to do when you got a fighter being worked on in the corner, but you're never supposed to step over there.
Well, do you have any idea, George, what it was that was going on in Tracy Harris Patterson's corner that they were protesting?
Well, they were looking at his eye, and they may have been, the doctor's looking at his eye and may have been giving some advice or rubbing some extra grease on or anything like that.
Harold Letterman, did you see what went on over there?
To tell you the truth, Jim, no, but I'll tell you, Hector Roca was really incensed at what was happening. The New York State Athletic Commission does put an inspector in each corner to make sure nothing phony goes on. And obviously the inspector saw Tommy Parks in Patterson's corner stalling for time.
We think that it may have had to do with the removal of a strip of tape from Tracy Harris Patterson's glove and a protest of the way that was done. But Patterson is beginning to step up, getting a lot more effective. Remember, he was knocked down in round 2. Gatti clearly dominated round number 1, but Patterson began to land combinations in round 3 and now is fighting on a more or less equal level with Arturo Gatti.
That's true. But Patterson's still spending the evening trying to counter that left jab. That may get him into a little extra trouble. Should keep it up, step up the pressure, keep up the pressure.
On the other hand, George, the swelling increases under Arturo Gatti's left eye.
Keep him up, Tracy. Keep him up.
Counter right hand by Gatti landed in there. Patterson's left eye beginning to swell up just a little bit, so both fighters have some swelling and damage around the left eye.
Now this was the first time that Gatti reached in with his right uppercut. So he's telling off what he's trying to do now. Patterson can think now. Patterson has taught him to go to the body. Floyd Patterson, that is. Those body punches is probably going to pay some dividends about right now.
Hard left hand by Tracy Harris Patterson. Remember, Tracy said when Arturo Gatti gets tired in the middle rounds, he starts to make mistakes. Gatti still throwing hard left hooks to the body and the head. Neither fighter has ever been knocked out.
All right, that's better, huh?
Let me see the gloves. It's much better. So little there. Just take it up. You gotta take it up.
Yeah.
Don't take that tight.
Just a little tape. Don't take that time.
I know, I'm not.
All right.
No, do it around again.
Go way around, but do it lightly.
All right.
Okay, Swayze, I want you just to keep your hands up. You're beginning to counter now, right? That's what you got to do. Just pay attention.
Is that better?
Yep. Listen, mouthpiece.
Pay all 5 rounds. Okay?
All right.
Looking good. You know how to try to knock him out. Match it up. Okay, the knockout come along, baby. Okay, use it, baby. Looking great. Okay? Looking great.
Okay.
Round for round, huh?
Right now?
Once again, they were examining Tracy Patterson's right glove. After 4 rounds, Harold Letterman, how have you scored the fight?
Larry, 40-35, 4 rounds to nothing, Arturo Gatti. I think he's clearly winning this fight with that left jab. He's keeping Patterson on the end of the jab and just jabbing him to death. Tracy's got to get busy. But I tell you, I'm very, very critical of the Gatti corner. They're not getting the cut man in front of Arturo. They got to put ice on that swelling and get the swelling on the left eye down.
Big change in tactics so far in the fight by Arturo Gatti, who's keeping it up, throwing an average of more than 40 jabs per round. He has not been this kind of fighter in the past.
Patterson still believes that if he can counter that left jab by Gatti just once, he can change this fight. And that gamble may be 2 or 3 rounds down the way. He may have lost his title. You got to get out there and initiate the right hand.
You're exactly right, George. He's got to make it happen, not wait for it to happen. I have it 3 rounds to, and 1 round of a draw, 1 2-point round for Gatti. So Patterson's going to have to get busy soon.
There it is. He went on top of the left jab, the left hand for the first time. He believed there's more to it than that.
Keep him up, Arturo. Keep him up.
Now he lands the right hand over the left again. So Tracy Harris Patterson has found an answer to how to counter the jab. If he can put the left hook to the body with it, he might do some damage. But now it's Gatti who's tripling up with the left hook.
He was successful that time because he didn't wait for the jab. He threw it anyway. But that Gatti has got some kind of heart. Someone has properly prepared him for this fight.
Seasoning and experience lie with Tracy Harris Patterson. Arturo Gatti admitted to us yesterday that he's stepping up to another level in taking a fight against a quality fighter like Patterson, but he was excited about it and said, I'll be better than I've ever been. Hard right hand by Patterson. Gatti comes back with lefts again. Fast combination by Gatti.
When a guy's waiting on you to throw 1 shot, the way to whip him is to throw 3 shots every time. Jab, right hand, hook. That's what Gatti's got to do. Patterson, once he gets that right hand over top of Gatti's left jab, he's got to come back with a hook quick. The right hand is coming, but nothing behind it.
Patterson steps in. Gatti lands 2 short punches. Arturo Gatti takes a left hand from Tracy Harris Patterson, but stays on track. Patterson now jabbing over the top of Gatti's jab. 5 rounds complete. You're watching the 199th prize fight telecast on HBO, coming up immediately following. Our 200th fight features Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya, lightweight champion of the world, going tonight against former 130-pound world champion Jesse James Leija. Oscar has been a big hit with mass media in New York this week.
When you get close to him now, you begin to take your punch a little bit. You got a lot of his strength on. Just be careful. Your hands are up. Make the move. Make the punch. Go inside. Give him something to go. Okay?
Come on, babe. Like you're doing, going to get close. Okay? Looking very good.
Tracy Patterson doesn't get busier soon. He will soon be an ex-2-time champion.
There's a veteran cut man, Percy Richardson, in Arturo Gatti's corner, but he's not doing a whole lot of work on Gatti's eye. You saw another veteran cut man, Al Gavin, putting ice on the right cheek and the inswell on the left eye of Tracy Harris Patterson. There's a hard right hand over the top by Gatti.
Easily delivered because he knows Patterson is waiting to get on top of his left jab. Then just throw a 1-2 combination. He's going to be there anyway, waiting. Patterson has got to start using his right hand and coming back with a hook. They don't have to be powerful, just sharp. He can get himself a knockdown.
So Gatti's showing an unusual grasp for the science of the sport in there tonight, George.
That's right. He is the boxer tonight, and he's looking like the guy with the good left jab, and he's boxing.
Patterson has a lot of experience going 10 or more rounds. He's done it 10 times in his career. For Gatti, it would be slightly different. Gatti has been 10 or more only twice, and only 3 times as far as the 8th round.
Patterson's left jab, once he delivers it now, is knocking Gatti's head backwards. Now that's something new.
leads with the left hook that time and lands it. Patterson was starting to block the jab, so Gatti said, "I'll go around you." Hard right hand by Gatti. Patterson landing a counter. Right hand lead by Patterson. Gatti wants to answer everything with hard left hooks.
What was impressive last exchange, George, was he threw 3 hard punches, and instead of lingering there looking for more, he got right out.
Great. And he can do that because he has the reach. Good right hand by Gatti that time.
And another right hand and 2 left hooks, and Patterson wobbles just a little bit and stops punching as Gatti's able to seize command again in the closing seconds of round number 6.
Good. That's it. Okay. 7 round coming. Okay. 7 round coming. So you win only rounds. Right? You understand what I said? The better you win in decision, so you don't have to. Okay. You stay too much in this round. You get hit too much. Okay. You get hit too much in this round. You understand? You okay? Okay. Okay, baby. That's it. Quick combination and you jab.
All right.
Once in a while, let me see. You can mix it up. Don't try hard. If you can go to the body, don't go. But once in a while, try to do it. Okay. Don't try hard to do it. Just like that.
Hands up and double O jab.
All right, seconds out.
Step to him with that jab.
Apparently, the corner of Gatti is also concerned that he should run out of steam. They're telling him not to get too exercised, to just stay cool. But pretty soon, Patterson's going to have to heat up and make something happen rather than wait for something to happen.
Barring some unusual scoring, Gatti can be expected to have a fairly comfortable lead on the scorecards right now.
And the thing about getting behind in a boxing match like this, you put more and more you dig yourself into a hole where you got to get a knockout.
Patterson leaping into a lead right hand and making it count. Gatti's left eye still badly swollen, but not shut yet.
Now, for the first time, Gatti went down to the body with a jab. He didn't put too much. He just put a little onto it, just like his corner told him.
What opportunities can that open up for him, George?
Oh, Patterson has been protecting his face all night. Now you start making him protect his body. That right hand by Gatti now can go straight in and get a quick knockdown again. Make him drop his left hand a little bit to protect his body. Well, a fighter never wants to be jabbed in the body. It's an insult.
When you see Oscar De La Hoya later tonight, you'll see a fighter who has grown and progressed enormously this year as a body puncher. Hard right hand counter by Patterson. Gatti again decides to answer with artillery. It's a recognizable impulse in a lot of young fighters, George. Every time he's hit hard, he wants to come back with 3 times as much.
You retaliate, and that's what an experienced fighter wants you to do. I hit you hard, please hit me back. You throw away a lot of your power and your strength, plus I can catch you in that exchange because I want to drop you. I don't want to just hit you back.
Patterson's confidence apparently rising again as he begins to throw more freely here in round number 7.
Another body shot. That body shot by Gatti hurt. With the right underneath that left jab, left elbow of Patterson.
Patterson lands a right hand. Gatti resisted the urge to step in and fire away with the left hook that time. Comes with the left hook to the body. Good body shot.
That's right. Now Patterson is thinking, hey, I've got to look out for this guy. He's hurting my body.
And Gatti goes back to the head and lands 2 combinations in a row. And a jab. Finally, Patterson stops the damage with a left hand. Hard right hand inside by Patterson. Gatti again doubles up with the left hook in return.
Patterson probably haven't noticed, but he's getting closer and closer to Gatti in these exchanges. He should exploit it a little bit more. He's not far away from him as before, because Gatti is no longer giving him that distance.
And as round 7 comes to a close and Tracy Harris Patterson fights with a little bit more freedom in there, you wonder if the distraction of fighting in front of his estranged adoptive father, Floyd Patterson, has begun to wane just a little bit. Well, we told you earlier there'd be more on filmmaker Spike Lee tonight. We want to remind you to join us December 26th for Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Featured in this month's edition, a look at Georgetown basketball coach John Thompson through the eyes of producer Spike Lee, plus an exclusive interview with Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Brian Blades, charged with 1 count of manslaughter in the shooting death of his cousin. Real Sports, the only show of its kind, and it's only on HBO. The Spikester.
At this moment, there's a new 130-pound champion. Tracy Patterson has to recapture his title, or what was his title, in the remainder of this fight. He has got to start throwing more punches and stop being the fighter with experience and start being the fighter, period. Harold Letterman, through 7 rounds, how do you see it?
Larry, I see it the same way you do. 6-1, 69-63, Arturo Gatti. I mean, I think Arturo's running away with this thing. Unless Tracy gets busy and starts throwing some leather, he's a goner. And I tell you something, this is ring generalship. Arturo keeps him on the end of that jab and doesn't let him get inside. That's ring generalship.
By punch stat numbers through 7 rounds, Arturo Gatti had landed twice as many punches as Tracy Harris Patterson. So Patterson's got an uphill climb these last 5 rounds.
That's an awful thing to have your dad sitting at ringside not cheering for you like that. I mean, that's got to be a punch. 5 knockdown punches against you from the get-go. They shouldn't have allowed Patterson even to sit that close, although he's on the commission.
He's the chairman of the New York State Boxing Commission, George. He's required by his job to sit there, and he's also required by his job to be impartial and not to root for his adoptive son.
Yeah, that's why he shouldn't be there. He just shouldn't be. That is his son. Leave out the word adoption. That's his son. That's dad down there.
He did not come to the pre-fight news conference 2 or 3 days ago, which was taken in New York media as a slight against Tracy. Who knows what goes through the mind of a man like Floyd Patterson amid a familial dispute like this one.
It's one of those things like, I told you, son, I told you.
Hard left hooks by Gatti, one of them to the body, and he continues to dig away at Tracy Harris Patterson's ribcage in these last 2 rounds. Patterson trying to step in and land to the head, but he hasn't got anything hard enough or stiff enough so far to turn the fight around. Hard right hand by Patterson landed right on the neck of Arturo Gatti, and for once Gatti bounces backward and doesn't answer back with the left hook.
But Patterson came back with a quick left hook that time. It wasn't a powerful left hook that he's been trying all night to land. It was a quick one. Right, left. Now he's got to take all the time to mix it back up with a jab, go to the body, and do that same thing all over again.
Right hand lead landed for Gatti. Backs Patterson up again as he says, uh-oh, another new tactic. Uppercut, combination. Gatti continues to be the aggressor as round 8 comes toward a close.
Now, Patterson got close for the first time. He got his shoulder to shoulder, and he took advantage of it.
You want to be in front of the guy, you don't want to wait for 1 punch. Okay. Is that what I said? If you want to be in front of the guy, you have to wait with combination. Jab. Okay? 9. 3 rounds more to be world champion. Okay. Don't take no chance. You're winning early rounds. Okay? Don't keep working. Okay? I don't want knockout, Arturo. Please. You understand what I said?
Patterson needs to throw punches more than individually, and here let's see, he does throw a pretty good 3-punch combination. but he's got to do a lot more of that to seize command of this fight, to hold the title on top of his head.
That was a close look at Floyd Patterson.
Stay in your corner, Arturo. Stay in your corner, Tracy.
In round 8, Arturo Gatti threw 87 punches by punch stat numbers and landed 50. That's a 58% connect percentage as Gatti once again stepped up the pressure in the 8th. Good boxing match. Tracy Harris Patterson stepping in closer, George Foreman, and landing with more authority.
Yeah, well, he bumped shoulders the last round, the ending of the last round, shoulder to shoulder for the first time. And if he can keep that up, he can get him a knockdown also, Patterson. But that Gatti is game. I mean, he is flashy. Looks like a champion to me.
Opening up with both hands again. Gatti willing to take a shot here and there in order to keep his own aggression.
His corner told him, don't take any chances. He's taken a few tonight.
His corner also told him there are only 3 rounds to go. In fact, there are 4. Gatti just throwing and throwing and not giving Tracy Harris Patterson any chance to become the aggressor for a continuous stretch of time.
That Gatti has been taking excellent advice. The corner has been giving him. He's taking the advice. Occasionally he sneaks in a body punch, just like his corner is telling him to do. That's great. Patterson just doesn't seem to have that communication with his corner.
You know, earlier, George, I pointed out that he's been in the ring because he comes from a fighting family since he's 8 years old. I have always thought that that counts, that somehow a fighter who starts that early has a presence there, that he's home in the ring. He doesn't get too overexcited by the occasion.
That's right, because the pressure comes from your dad and your brothers. Once you get past that, you can get in the ring and stand with anybody.
And he's handling the situation beautifully. Looks like an old-fashioned garden fighter.
Round 9 is a clinic on boxing/punching by Arturo Gatti. Now, Patterson lands a right hand as Gatti misses wildly with an uppercut. That was his one tactical error of the round, but otherwise he's dominated it with combination punching.
The one thing for certain you can say, Floyd Patterson has taught his son how to defend himself in the ring. When you get hurt, what the instinctive things are to do to make sure that you don't get overly hurt or get into a disaster. Patterson taught him well.
Little fancy footwork for Gatti, setting up a lead right hand there. Tracy Harris Patterson still calm, but seemingly well behind in the fight and not finding any pathways toward a possible knockout. Now Patterson backs Gatti up. Crowd beginning to root a little bit for Tracy Harris Patterson. Can they lift him up in the last 3 rounds? We'll see. Meanwhile, earlier this evening, a New Yorker on the card, Brooklyn's heavyweight prospect, Shannon Briggs. That's Shannon in the black trunks with the unusual hairstyle, fighting here against a fighter named Calvin Concrete Jones, and he just about turned Jones into concrete.
Boy, watch when he reaches for the rope. That's when you really want the rope. 1, 2, 3, and it's a waving contest.
Briggs is regarded by many as the most promising young heavyweight out there. You can see he has great equipment as well as that mop on top of his head. He's from the same area of Brooklyn that produced Mike Tyson and Riddick Bowe.
And he's trained by Teddy Atlas, trainer also of former heavyweight champion Michael Moorer. It was a 54-second first-round knockout for Briggs over Calvin Jones. Round 10. Both men damaged around the left eye. Both men can still see out of their left eyes.
Patterson should understand that once he hits this guy with a good shot, he's always going to hit him back. So be prepared to throw one shot as soon as you hit him.
problem for Patterson. The sheer pace being established by Gatti. George, he threw 93 punches in the 9th round.
And look at the footwork that he still has right in the 10th round. He's bouncing. Long legs. Good pace.
Answers individual shots by Patterson with 2- and 3-punch combinations of his own. Masterful performance so far by 23-year-old future star Arturo Gatti.
Gatti has been spending some hours on the skip rope. Look at that footwork.
There have been many outstanding Italians who have fought at the Garden. LaMotta, Marciano, Graziano. It looks like we may have another champion.
Jake LaMotta's here tonight, right, Larry?
Yep.
Patterson lands a good right hand, but he never tries to come back with anything.
Now here he comes.
Smile.
Tracy Harris Patterson, sensing an opportunity, stepped in and threw a 3-punch combination. Gatti getting hit now more frequently in the 10th round than has been the case throughout most of the bout.
He turned his body in an awkward position this time, so he's kind of confused with the power of Tracy Patterson tonight.
And Tracy starting to try to load up the right hand. Hard left hook by Gatti. And again, that sets off a flurry of combinations. Blood now coming from the area under Gatti's left eye. So the mouse under Gatti's left eye has been cut.
Gatti's actually confused, and a good body punch there by Patterson. Good body punch. Now he's got to take advantage of it. He just don't have a lot of rounds to go.
Middle minute of the 10th round was one of Patterson's best minutes of the fight. He lands a hard left-hand shot in there, and Gatti's starting to give Patterson a lot of opportunities. He's winging punches. He's leaving himself open inside.
Because he's hurt. But Patterson has been hit with a lot of body punches that holds him back now. He's got to go for it. Got to go for it now.
6 minutes left in the fight. Will Tracy Harris Patterson get a chance to pull it out? He's working on setting it up right now. Round 10 comes to a close and the crowd rises.
No matter what coast you're on, they love that.
Why you need that, Arturo? 2 fucking rounds to win the fight. Why you need that, Arturo? You hand low. What? Arturo, you want to be a champion? You can do that shit. Believe me what I told you. Is that what I said?
Come on, wake up, wake up.
You win 10 rounds from 12. And you want to do that for what? He had to knock you to win the fight. So why you want...
He's dead. He can't stay with you. What's nice? Stomach's all right?
Yeah, he's fine.
I guess here's some more water.
I'm ready.
All right, he's ready now. Give me the mouthpiece. Mouthpiece? Tracy, give me grease.
Second
Tracy,
down,
go to boss. Just go get him.
Jim, since he has followed his corner's instructions so well, I have to assume that his legs aren't all there, which is why he's standing and trading at this late stage of the fight. Harold, 10 rounds.
Larry, 98, 91, 8 rounds to 2, Arturo Gatti. But I want to tell you something, as big as Arturo's beating this guy, if he gets knocked out, he's got to blame it on Hector Roca in that awful corner. Percy Richardson, the cut man, should be in front of him, working on that cut on his left eye, putting pressure on it. Look at Gatti squinting. It's horrible. He doesn't see Tracy's right hand coming.
On the other hand, Al Gavin has done a heck of a job of keeping Tracy Harris Patterson's right eye open. So only the 3rd time that Arturo Gatti has gone as far as 10, second time past the 10th round. Will he have the wisdom to try to limit Patterson's opportunities in these last 2 frames?
You don't allow your corner should never tell you to slow down and win a match because of the points you've already got in the bank. You tell a young fighter to stop fighting, he doesn't know anything else to do. So you got him out there as a sitting duck himself. You tell him you're doing good, champ. Keep your hands up.
So you'd like to see Gatti continue the kind of aggression that he sustained all the way through the fight.
His best defense has been his offense. You got to keep that offense going. Patterson has not been that accurate all night. He's reaching in. Why stop doing what you're doing unless you don't believe in your conditioning?
Punch output dropping for Gatti. Clearly he is tiring. Patterson beginning to come on and find opportunities. Does he have enough left to score the knockout?
You got to understand that Patterson has been hitting the body with some good shots, so he's not going to be as strong as he looks to be.
Two fighters trying to gut it out in a very rough fight. A lot of contact on both sides. And Patterson continues to warm up. Gatti not throwing back now when he gets hit. And when he does, it's only one punch at a time.
I thought he wobbled Gatti with one of those right hands. Let's see if it affects him for the rest of this round. Less than a minute to go.
Gatti has got such good reflexes. Even when he's tired, he's quick.
Right eye closing for Gatti now as well. He'll have to fight the 12th from two rapidly closing slits. And there's a hard right hand by Gatti, his best punch of the 11th round.
A break! Step back.
Left hook by Tracy Harris Patterson. Gatti answers with a left hook of his own. They trade punches at center ring, and Gatti tries to reestablish his jab. It dominated the first few rounds of the fight for it. 11th round coming to a close.
Let me tell you something. Okay. Put that in his lap. Got it? Mouthpiece. All right, Tracy, you can knock this guy out. You understand? Yeah. You ain't ever got to pull back. He's going to run. He's afraid of you now. His power is gone, okay? Yeah. Sit up. You can breathe. You ain't tired. Yep.
Don't stop the work. Just run, jab, and quick combination only. Quick combination only, and you'll be champion.
Help me on the
Okay?
side, Hector.
Okay. Yeah. Okay? Only
Punches. Have you got 3 minutes in you? Well, then you give it to me.
Come on, baby.
Give me the whole 3 minutes, sir.
Come on.
Everything you got, baby.
Give me the whole 3 minutes. I don't give a fuck. You're the boss. Yeah.
Be smart. Be smart, champ. Be smart.
Yeah, block everything. Block everything. Block
9 seconds
everything.
out.
3 minutes to go, guys. 3 minutes.
Dramatic reversal in round 11. Suddenly it was Gatti whose punch output dropped below 50, only threw 49 punches in the round. Patterson went up to 70. So Tracy Harris Patterson has the fight going the way he wants it to go. Finally, is it too late? They're going to trade power shots down the stretch, George.
Patterson should have opened up like this 5, 6 rounds earlier. You don't wait until a guy gets tired. You make him tired.
Tremendously entertaining fight with which to welcome you back to Madison Square Garden for big-time boxing after a 2.5-year hiatus. New Paltz, New York. Tracy Harris Patterson trying to pull one out against Arturo Gatti, the transplanted Montrealer now living in Jersey City.
I can tell you Patterson is doing everything he can, but he's up against a young kid with a lot of bounce in his feet. Plus, he's got these instincts to get away from the hard shots. You got to shorten the punches up. Stop trying to throw the power stuff. Just let him go.
Tracy Harris Patterson, so effective with combinations in the 11th round, is now trying to load the right hand and end it with one punch. That gives Gatti a chance to land a combination, but Patterson countered with a right, and Gatti wobbles again. Minute and a half to go. Hard right hand by Patterson. Suspense building as Patterson loads up a left. Gatti unable to defend himself now. Will it be another Chavez-Taylor? Will Tracy Harris Patterson pull out an almost unbelievably improbable victory the way Chavez did against Taylor 5.5 years ago?
Patterson has enough time, but doesn't he have enough energy? It's been too much of a give and take. That Gatti is tough. He's strong. He's young. Looks like he wants to be the world champion to me.
He's also virtually out on his feet at this time, George, from exhaustion. and he can barely see through either eye, but he's hanging in, and he's got 35 seconds to go toward an apparent world title.
Patterson is waiting around for the hard shot when he should have just gone with a combination. Now it's Patterson who initiate the holding.
An exhausted Arturo Gatti getting a much-needed 6 or 7 seconds of rest there. You see the clock winding down. Crowd in the Garden rises to its feet once again.
Time. Good fight. Good fight.
Well, earlier I said, Jim, the crowd has done its job, the building has done its job, the fighters did their job.
Yeah.
Harold Letterman, your final card.
Larry, 116, 111, 8 rounds to 4, Arturo Gatti. I just thought he had a tremendous lead with that left jab. He boxed beautifully through the early rounds. When his left eye started to swell and it closed up and it started to bother him, Tracy came across with that right hand and grabbed rounds 10, 11, and 12 with good solid right hands. But early on, it was just too much Gatti. Beautiful boxing. I think the Canadian kid deserves to be the new champion.
I had it 115 to 111, scoring 1 round even.
And we're about to find out how the judges appointed by the New York State Boxing Commission to score the fight. Remember, there was a knockdown in round number 2. Gatti putting Tracy Harris Patterson on the canvas with a right uppercut. If it's a close fight, that may ultimately turn out to be the difference in the scoring. Here are the final punch stat numbers. Tracy Harris Patterson getting them to even up a lot in those last 3 rounds. Late in the fight, there was still a juncture at which Gatti had landed more than twice as many punches as Tracy Harris Patterson. And we'll look at the jabs. You can see that Arturo Gatti threw 542 jabs in the fight, more than 40 per round. He came in his previous bouts averaging less than 20 jabs per round. So a dramatic change in style for Gatti. Did it win for him? Let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Madison Square Garden, we go to the scorecards. Melvina Lathan scores the bout 115 to 112. Steve Weisfeld scores it 114 to 113. And Leroy Brown scores the bout 116 to 111 for the winner and new junior lightweight champion of the world.
All right, good luck to both of you. Let's touch gloves.
We've put a lot of high expectations on Gatti. The good ones live up to those expectations. The great ones sometimes exceed them.
These are what I call little big men. They're small weight class guys, but they fight like middleweights.
Round 13 about to begin between Tracy Patterson and Arturo Gatti. They pick up where they left off in December of 1995. Let's see if Patterson can get the faster start that he knows he must have in this fight. Gatti starts off going to the body with the left hook. As the Gatti contingent chants for their man, some of Patterson's supporters begin trying to chant Tracy, Tracy, Tracy in return.
Gatti surprised Patterson in the first fight by boxing him, coming in with the reputation as a warrior and as a brawler. He can't surprise him here, but you see he's already thrown 3 or 4 hard punches. And there's the 4th or 5th one.
Gatti shows you his power. He landed the short shot inside that wobbled Patterson back on his heels.
The problem that Patterson has is that he keeps his head too still. He walks right down the pipe with his hands up to his head, but his head is always in one place.
Another left hook lands. Round one so far, another showcase for Arturo Gatti. Working behind the jab and so far beating his man to the punch. Patterson doing a good job of blocking Gatti's shots now, but he's been put on the defensive by the early assault of Arturo Gatti. Patterson a little bit short trying to stick the jab. Now Patterson gets in close enough to land the jab, and short right hand that stuns Gatti. Gatti back into the corner and not throwing punches back. And down goes Arturo.
That looked like a
low blow. Rudy Battle saying low blow.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
Terrible break for Tracy Patterson. He had Gatti in trouble.
And I would love to see if that was a low blow. I don't think that was a low blow. I really would like to see the playback.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we will. I didn't see it either. It might have been a left hand after the right.
You okay? Keep the punches up. Let's box.
So after some of the early artillery from Gatti, it's Tracy Patterson who scores a knockdown.
I don't know if that's a knockdown, Jim.
Yeah, now they're saying it's not. You're right. No knockdown scored for Patterson. Although it certainly appeared that he had stopped Gatti in his tracks.
I promise that looked like a good body shot. I can't really tell. I wasn't really watching. I was watching Gatti's eyes. Please show me some replay.
Well, before we show you the replay, Harold Letterman, your legalese interpretation of what you saw.
Jim, it's entirely up to the referee. If a guy gets knocked down by a body shot and the referee says it's a low blow and yells no knockdown, it's not a knockdown. Arturo Gatti's got up to 5 minutes to recover.
Let's see what happened.
There's a straight right hand, and here's where the left will come.
Right here. Right hand left.
He's landed about 8
Oh, that's a good
punches.
body shot.
Yeah, you're right, Roy.
They took one from him. They took one from him. I knew it.
That looked like a borderline shot.
That was a body shot.
It hurt Gatti, but it didn't look like a low blow.
When it comes, you can't
that was most definitely a body shot.
When he's throwing it, okay? You'll see it.
So you can see that once again, Gatti was by far the busier puncher in round one, throwing 72 punches to only 34 for Patterson. But Patterson landed that straight right hand that stunned Gatti, and the brilliant left to the body, or so it appeared to Roy and me.
Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Keep him up in there. That's it. Nice and clean.
We have enough controversy to have a part 3 of this fight.
And you can see that Harold Letterman scored the first round for Arturo Gatti. And in fact, since Rudy Battle ruled the body punch to be a low blow, you almost have to score it that way. Gatti threw more and landed more.
I gave the round to Patterson.
Patterson has to move his head. If he doesn't move his head, he's going to be an easy target for Arturo Gatti.
What Patterson is starting to do here that he didn't do in the first fight is respond quickly after Gatti's flurries. He allowed Gatti to steal the flurries in the first fight and steal the rounds because of it. Or I should say win the rounds because of it.
Right now Patterson's doing a pretty good job of countering to the body when Gatti steps in to go upstairs. Arturo landed a good left hook in that last exchange, but Patterson landed well to the body. Now Rudy Battle tells Gatti to keep his punches up.
And that didn't look especially low either. That one looked a little low.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Gotti's starting to open up again. As he does, he'll leave himself available to those counters that scored so well for Patterson in the first round. Gotti's supporters in the crowd regained their breath.
Good jab by Patterson. Another good jab by Patterson.
Tracy beginning to double up on the jab. The opportunity is there for him to throw a lot more punches than he's throwing, Roy.
No, because he has to be very careful. He walked down the pipe a lot. That was a good body shot by Артуро Гатти. Patterson has to be very careful not to walk into a big punch by Артуро. When Patterson comes in, he walks right down the pipe, and Артуро knows this from the first fight.
But Patterson's caution in the early rounds cost him dearly on the scorecards in that first fight. And the same thing may be happening here.
Yep.
Hard left hook by Артуро Гатти. Biggest punch of the round. And as the round comes to a close, Gatti flurries, Patterson doesn't.
That's what makes Gatti Gatti.
A little bit more getting off with your jab, okay? The only thing, and now watch, it's going to show you the uppercut before he throws it, okay? He's going to show you the uppercut before he throws it. Pay attention. Just go here, go here, go here. You're doing good. Just get a little more sticks off at him. A little more sticks, a little more sticks. Nice stiff jab.
When you come, you count it. Okay. Right? You don't have to go to him. Okay? Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Don't try hard. Don't.
Here you see Gatti coming on at the end of the round. The right didn't land full. The left did.
Stay back. Stay back in your corner.
If the first one doesn't land, Roy, if you throw the second one, it may.
Throw 6 more just like it.
Round 3.
Gatti's congenitally swelling eyes have made it through the first 2 rounds relatively unscathed. Tracy Patterson, as you saw, throwing only 62 punches in the first 2 rounds. Just not busy enough so far to catch the eyes of the judges, particularly against a man who threw 72 punches in round 1, 82 in round 2, and is now pounding away again to begin round 3.
I think Gatti has gotten cranked up here. He's throwing good body shots. He's landing good body shots. Patterson is doing much of nothing. He's being a target right now. And the main reason is because every time he tries to punch at Артуро, he gets caught because he comes straight down the middle at Артуро.
You saw Gatti fake with the right and fire the left hook. Patterson coming straight up the middle. Gatti countering with a short right hand.
There is what's hurting Patterson.
Let him go. Step back.
What's that? Gatti to the body?
Those big body shots are hurting Patterson. And they drain you.
Very much like its 2 predecessors. Tracy Patterson not getting off a lot against Артуро Гатти. Sometimes effective when he counters, but Gatti throwing more punches, landing more, connecting to the body and to the head.
Gatti most definitely has control of this fight now. He's out in front of Tracy Patterson. He just has to make sure he doesn't punch himself out.
Gatti maintaining that good power puncher's balance as he keeps his feet widely spaced apart, stepping forward all the time.
A good double hook by Gatti.
Right hand over the top by Patterson, and he doubles up on it. Gatti tries to come back with a right of his own.
Oh, there's a hook that hurt Patterson.
Left hook inside by Gatti, and Patterson slightly wobbled by that one. Another left hook lands for Arturo Gatti.
He's making Patterson use his hands for defense so much that Patterson can't concentrate on punching back.
So you had one good moment in this round for Tracy Patterson. There's another one on a counter left. But most of the round, Arturo Gatti pounding a tattoo to Tracy Harris's body.
Stay cool. Come on, you don't have to knock him out, Arturo. You have to keep the ball, that's all. 1-3 rounds and go nothing. Keep each shoulder on, you understand? Keep low, touch it. You don't have to go to him, right? When you see any opening, you count it. Okay? Keep it. Okay? You understand what I say? Touch it all the time and stay calm. Touch it all the time and stay calm. You don't want nothing more, he's scared already. Send it off, you feel scared. Okay?
Here you can see Gatti working to the body and that quick left hook.
Seconds out. Seconds out. Stay back in your corner. Stay in your corner. Stay back in your corner.
Gatti getting advice between rounds from some guys who has pretty good advice, named Pernell Whitaker, telling him to stand there and just go forward. Just stand there. Don't run around. Just go for him.
Tracy Harris Patterson with no way to stop the Gatti left hook as round 4 begins with 3 solid Gatti left hooks.
So far it looks like in this rematch, one man is a year older and one man is a year better.
Well, we've already got the controversy, though, because if Patterson loses the fight, he's likely to claim that Rudy Battle took away a possible knockout in round 1 when he ruled an effective body punch to be a low blow and gave Gatti a break instead of ruling a knockdown against him.
Well, I think he might have a case about a knockdown, not a knockout, but it will be a case. But he's got to get into this fight. He hasn't done anything since.
Mainly because Gatti is making him use his hands all for defense. He constantly has to block Gotti's punches, so he can't punch and block punches at the same time.
You've seen the one-sided punch stat numbers from round to round. In the last round, Tracy Patterson throwing only 26 punches, while Arturo threw 82 of them. That underlines Roy's point about Gatti forcing Patterson to use his hands to defend.
Hold it. Stay off the hip, all right?
That one didn't look all that low to me either.
I don't know what Battle is doing here. I don't even think he had a clear view of that punch. He was on the other side of the fighters.
Right hand just misses for Gatti. Left hook lands flush. Right hand lands on the top of Tracy Patterson's head.
That was a good hook inside by Patterson, but that's all he did.
One punch.
Another good one punch.
He's effective countering one punch at a time. He needs to open up and throw more, as he's doing right now.
Like I said, Arturo has to be careful not to punch himself out here.
Gatti has a still head, too. It's not as if he's hard to find in there, Roy.
Right, and he shouldn't be this still because he's going to make himself easier to hit. He should do just what he's doing in round 1, move his head. I think they think that he can basically overpower Tracy Patterson.
Well, like a lot of great punchers, Gatti has a tendency sometimes to admire his work.
Yeah, but they can't think that Tracy Patterson is out of this fight. This guy is a veteran.
Short left hook inside, right hand over the top for Arturo Gatti. Patterson's had his moments here in round 4, but Gatti continues to pile up the points and pound out the tempo. Hard left hook to the body.
What you're seeing now is the younger guy who commits to the power punches. The older guy does not commit. He's waiting for his openings to sharpshoot, but Patterson won't commit.
Tracy. Right hand. You got it? Come on, Gatti, be smart, baby. Hey.
This is Pernell Whitaker getting ready to yell at Arturo Gatti again.
Bob.
What's his name? Head down. Head down.
Get out of the way, Zach.
Make sure it's getting late. Make sure he stay down low. Stay low, Shorty.
Gatti and Whitaker have sparred together from time to time. So they do know each other, or Whitaker knows Gatti anyway.
Now Gatti turns around and looks Whitaker in the face as he listens to Whitaker's advice to stay lower. They use the same physical trainer, Bob Waring, out of Virginia Beach. Gatti, who lives in Jersey City, has been spending more time in Virginia Beach training with Whitaker and physical trainer Bob Waring.
Harold, after 4 rounds, your score.
Larry, 3-1, 39-37 Arturo Gatti. Larry, listen to me. A low blow is anything below the belly button. You can't see Patterson's belly button. You can't see Gatti's belly button. So therefore, the waistband is a legal shot. Now, Rudy Battle's not giving us the waistband. When Patterson dropped him, he hit him on the waistband. And when Battle won Gatti in the second round, it was for a shot on the waistband. The waistband should be legal.
So we're saying that the trunks are high.
Exactly, the trunks are high.
Gatti is boxing the shoes off of Patterson right now.
Why is Whitaker telling Gatti to stay low, Roy?
Because he knows that Patterson is going to start to shoot counter punches sooner or later. He means after he punches, make sure he stays low, because if Gatti throws a big punch and ends up high after it, Patterson will shoot a hard right hand down the pipe. If he's low, he may get under this punch.
Arturo Gatti taking advantage of a stationary target.
Now he threw about 7 punches there. 2 of them landed squarely.
A fusillade of punches.
None of them were answered. It's the big part.
That's the big part. That's exactly right, Roy.
Come on. All right, break. Now you got a warning for the hip. Stay off it. Stay off the hip. Stop. You got a warning. Stay off that hip.
Patterson is hoping for this kid to punch himself out, but I don't think it will happen.
That's depending on the other guy to lose the fight instead of you winning the fight, Roy. That doesn't seem like the way a champion should respond.
Well, he's not the champion right now, though.
Well, if he wants to be a champion, he's going to have to respond like one.
Well, maybe Patterson has listened to the stories about how much difficulty Gatti had making 130 pounds, and how a lot of the people in Gatti's camp believe that it's unhealthy for him to be making 130 at this point, and he ought to be fighting at 135. The opportunities for income are still here. He holds a world title here. He doesn't want to go up and wait until he's offered a chance to fight for a title at 135, but he has to drain himself dry to get to 130.
If you put on 15 pounds in about 30 hours, you are dry when you weigh in.
So far, the 15-pound standing Gatti in good stead as he keeps up the pace through round 5.
He ended up good, but I think we're about 5 rounds down. So you can't go ahead and give him another round. Now, what's happening is
It's getting a little heated in here. I'm talking to both corners.
Okay.
Keep the punches low.
Watch the low blows. Tracy, you got to start fighting this kid now. His power is about going. You got to keep it. When you're blocking that stuff, go back on him.
Yep.
Don't let him.
Arturo, please, listen. Anything, stay calm and take the angle. 5 rounds, nothing. You understand what I said? You take 2 punches, you know you're gonna give it back. I don't want you to get hit. You have to protect yourself for every punch. Give it the angle. Don't. You hit low, stay low.
12-round fighter.
So far, Gatti's eyes are just Gatti's eyes. They're not puffing up,
Nice and clean.
perhaps because he hasn't been hit there very often.
And Patterson's eyes are watery because either he's getting hit in them or his own gloves are pounding against him when he's blocking shots. Neither is good.
And you heard Tommy Parks telling his fighter, Tracy Patterson, I think you're 5 rounds down after 5 rounds. This is the same Tommy Parks who will tell you that he thinks Patterson should have won the first fight.
Oh, that was a good right hand to the temple by Arturo Gatti.
In the 5th round, Gatti threw 100 punches by CompuBox numbers to only 26 for Patterson. So it's been a one-sided display so far. What does Patterson have to bring to the second half of the fight?
Jim, before the fight, I said he was going to have to be more like his father. He was going to have to take chances, and it's going to have to start soon.
Arturo's left hand is keeping Patterson off balance enough.
Good right hand by Patterson. Momentarily staggered Gatti.
Yep. And Gatti's still a little wobbly, and Patterson's trying to follow up right now. That right hand brought new excitement to the fight.
I don't think it harmed Gatti at all, though.
There's another one.
Keep him up. Keep him up.
Low blow.
And another right hand. And suddenly Tracy Patterson is able to land the right hand over the top, more or less at will. There's another one. And another right and a left. Tracy Patterson having a big 6th round. And exactly how damaged is Arturo Gatti? Gatti starts to fire back. Tracy says, come on.
I told you, I thought Tracy was waiting for the guy to punch himself out.
Well, he knows how to counter, and he's getting that right hand deep into Arturo Gatti's guard right now.
All right, no wrestling, no wrestling.
It was the right hand that turned the fight around for Patterson too late. A year and 3 months ago. Maybe it's early enough to turn it in his favor tonight because it is only the 6th round.
Arturo is still very strong, though. There's Tracy sitting with his head still again.
Let him up, let him up, let him up.
Gatti finally ducks and moves his head as Patterson fires a right hand. And a right hand lands for Gatti just before the bell. And the two fighters have violent words with one another as Rudy Battle pulls them apart.
What a round.
Come on, let me work.
Don't stand up your head. Back with the hook when you hit him. The double right hand. Yeah, let him go this corner too, Rudy. The double right hand and come back with. Give me ice back or something. The double right hand.
When you hear that bell, go to your.
The hell with him. You understand? You got him. Trace, you got this guy. Move your head all the time. Don't stand still. Move your head as you're out there. And then
There's the right hand that turned the round and perhaps the fight around for Patterson. Patterson is being more aggressive in his own way.
Let me say one thing. The good advantage of coming down so far in weight is that you can take those big punches from the smaller opponents once you weigh in.
You're saying because he put on 15 pounds?
That's right. His body has more weight to absorb the shock of the punches that smaller Patterson are hitting him with. I mean.
Well, that's a positive. Most people see a massive weight loss followed by a precipitous weight gain as a negative, as it was for James Toney in his fight against you, Roy. And Patterson is coming on strong in the 6th and 7th. Gatti, with the still head, is getting countered easily now by Tracy Patterson.
For James Toney in the fight against me, the weight was just an excuse. If you do it the right way, that is supposed to work in your advantage. Roberto Duran used to come from 200 pounds to fight at 160. I used to come from 180 to fight at 160. I used to always be bigger than my opponents, and I could take more shots from them than they could absorb from me.
All right, so you're telling me that you think Tracy can keep landing those right-hand shots, but he's not going to knock Gatti out with them.
Not saying he's not going to knock him out, but not right away. It'll have to wear him down over a period of time.
Watch your head. Keep it clean in there.
That's why he's been able to absorb so many already.
Keep him up. I want a clean contest in there. That's it.
Well, certainly Patterson landed a series of right hands in round 6 that might have put some of his previous opponents away.
Would have put a lot of them away.
Yeah, but guys, he came into boxing as a 122-pounder. He's just not as strong as Gatti, no matter what the weight.
Rudy Battle taking a point away yet? No. did not deduct a point as Gatti protested the low blow call.
Keep him up, Gatti.
He's actually a stronger puncher than Gatti, I think.
That's it, nice again.
Now Gatti starts to land power shots again as he reverses the momentum in the second half of round 7.
Yeah, Patterson is looking to the referee too much for help.
Gatti's gone back to the left hook that serves him so well. Whenever Arturo gets in trouble, you can watch the left hook load up. Like that.
Keep him up. Stop pushing. Step out. Keep him up. Keep him up. Keep him up. That's it. All right, break. Let him go. Let him go. Step back. Step back. Nice.
It's turning into a dogfight now.
Good rally in the latter stages of round 7 by Arturo Gatti. After Patterson had begun to get the momentum.
That hurt Patterson. That left hook by Gatti did.
And Patterson sticks his tongue out at Gatti at the end of the round.
Is that still an insult?
Square your body too much. Go inside. Arturo, you're squaring your body too much. Stay low, baby. Stay low. It's cease to nothing. Stay low. Low. Combination quick. Bam.
Touch him up in here now. That thing here. Hey. Rudy Bow not going to help you. Go some over there. I know. Go, Tracy. Tracy, stop fighting this guy. Tracy, you got to throw a lot of punches now. You get to move your head and go punch. You'll beat this guy.
Early in the round, Patterson had the momentum, some good body shots, but that left hand drove him off the ropes. And later it was Gatti responding and may have stolen the round by finishing faster.
Because Gatti is throwing in combinations, whereas Tracy is just trying to land the one big shot.
Between rounds 7 and 8, moments ago, Gatti was leaning his head all the way over the ropes out of the ring to listen to Burnell Whitaker. Whitaker was saying, hit the body, keep the chin down. But my question, Roy Jones, he's got a trainer right in front of him, Hector Roca, who's trying to talk to him. Now he's leaning his head out over the ropes to listen to Whitaker. Is Whitaker a help or a distraction?
He's a help. Most definitely a help, because if nothing else, he's a confidence builder.
He's probably also saying the right things to Gatti. Hit the body and keep the chin down are two very good pieces of dice.
Most of the time, that's right. And most of the time, you much rather listen to a guy who does the same thing that you do than a guy who hasn't done it in several years.
The way Derek Gainer listens to you when you yell at him from ringside.
Pretty much so.
I don't know, all that sounds a little cockeyed to me, I got to tell you guys.
1 point deduction against Gatti. Small break for Patterson.
Stay off it. You all right, Trace? Huh?
Patterson's right eye seems to be closing a little bit. Oh, good hook by Gatti.
Keep him up.
And now Patterson should be going out here to make this a 2-point round.
Keep him up.
He should be right on top of Gatti and going for it.
Nice and clean. Let him go. Step out. Let him go. Keep him up.
Another thing, Larry, is that good layoff did show to help for Arturo's eyes. His eyes have been caught with some good shots tonight, but you've not seen any signs of it yet.
Right. They're certainly not swelling the way they have in the last couple of fights.
Which suggests that that long layoff has helped him in that regard.
You also get the impression here that Arturo is determined to win this round to nullify the point that was taken away by Rudy Battle for low blows.
Get off his head.
He should win this fight with no problem, pretty much, because
let him go. Let him go.
Patterson is just constantly trying to knock him out with one shot. He should be able to just outbox Patterson the rest of the way in, take it easy, and not worry about nothing. He just has to keep moving his head. Oh, good hook by Arturo.
Great right hand landed for Tracy Patterson as he found a way to counter Arturo's left hook.
Nice and clean. Nice and clean.
Gatti showing great energy down the stretch in round 8. Heavy right hand there. Another heavy right hand over Tracy Patterson's left. Right hand counter for Patterson, but Gatti landing a combination as the bell sounds.
Tracy, right there. Come on, buddy. Tracy, give me some water here next time. Tracy, if you fight this guy, you'll beat him. His power is gone. Tracy, all you got to do, Tracy, is, and listen, put that inswell on that eye. Give me a
mouthpiece over here.
What you want, this?
You got the mouthpiece in this corner?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, give me something here. Yeah, my nose. Listen, Tracy, I don't know if you want this fight or not, but you can't win it like this. You gotta stop him. You gotta stop him. How you gonna stop him, Tracy? Is to be aggressive and move him back.
Let's see if that blow was low. Yeah, it was low. On the hip. Didn't do any damage, but it was low.
Seconds out. Let's go. Stay back. Round 9. Nice and clean.
These are some of the most amazing punch stat numbers that CompuBox has ever produced, in the sense that Arturo Gatti has thrown almost 3 times as many punches in the fight as Tracy Patterson.
Because he's boxing Patterson, he's throwing combinations. Patterson is just trying to get this fight over with one big punch.
Patterson is landing 59% of the punches he throws, almost 60%, but seemingly losing the fight while landing 60% of the punches he throws.
Quickly, Harold, how do you have it through 8 rounds?
Larry, 77-74, 5-2, 1 even. Arturo Gatti is
Patterson thinks it was a slip. It's going to be ruled a knockdown. The left hook by Gatti, a glancing blow, but the timing of the droppage to the canvas suggests it should have been ruled a knockdown, and it was.
Clearly a slip.
I thought it was a slip also, Roy.
Clearly a slip.
But Battle saw the punch fly and saw Tracy go down and called it a knockdown. So the point that Gatti lost for low blows in the last round, he may get back for the knockdown here. And you heard both Roy and Larry suggest they don't think it was a knockdown.
I know it wasn't a knockdown. Without a doubt. I don't even have to see that on the replay. I know that wasn't a knockdown.
Hard right hand by Tracy Patterson. Gatti using his feet effectively.
This is just a boxer outboxing a puncher.
Yeah. Gatti has shown that he's like the third hitter in the lineup who can play big ball or little ball. He can go for the fence, or he can go for the single.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Well, I still think he gets hit too much, but it hasn't harmed him tonight because Patterson just hasn't been busy enough to make that an advantage for him in the fight.
Jim, the fewer punches you throw, you should land a higher percentage.
Let him go. Let him go.
I don't think it's a big deal if you land a high percentage. If you throw 10 punches and land 6, that's 60%. And the other guy throws 30 and lands 10, that's only 33%. But he's landed 4 more punches.
That's what's happening here. You're right.
Gatti is the bolder fighter.
Which is why Tommy Parks asked Tracy Patterson after the last round, I don't know if you want this fight, but you can't win it this way. Probably Tracy's about to hear more of the same.
Don't bounce. Angle. These 3 rounds, I want angle, Arturo. And keep it in the middle of the ring.
Round 10.
Hey, Arturo, you hear what I say? I don't want nothing on this. Only time here. Only time here. Okay? You have it blank.
you know how to throw that whole bunch at one punch. Don't throw 6, 7, 8 punch. You know?
No, he fell off balance throwing the punch. You know good and well that is clearly a slip. He didn't get hit with a clean punch, didn't get hit with that punch, fell off balance right there as he threw his own punch. That is not a knockdown.
Seconds out!
He lost his balance as he was throwing the punch. This is clearly seen.
Yep. I have to agree with you, Roy. Looked like a slip from here, but it was ruled a knockdown.
Now, Tracy Patterson is losing this fight regardless. I don't think the referee's 2 bad calls are affecting it, but that is enough controversy to cause for a third fight. What would you think, Larry?
No, if he gets licked this way, Roy, it's twice as enough. You've got to earn it.
Now, he is getting beat pretty bad here.
All right, break hand, let him go. Step back. Stop punching. Stop punching.
He's not going to think so.
Stop punching.
Looks like Gatti has something in his left eye. He's been squinting out of it.
Firing 4 jabs in a row while Patterson stands and looks at him. Now here we go again. Jab, hook, right cross. Patterson not throwing back.
It was a Whitaker move. He might have got that sparring with Purnell.
Probably did.
Harold Letterman has changed his mind about the last round. Now makes it a 10-8 round instead of a 10-9 round. So that adds to the margin on Harold Letterman's scorecard for Arturo Gatti over Tracy Patterson. Crowd chanting for Gatti. Patterson finally throws a punch, a right-hand counter.
A one-punch guy never should beat a combination puncher. I don't know why Patterson is just throwing one punch trying to knock this guy out. The guy's far too big and far too strong to knock out with one punch.
Somebody should have told Tracy that Gatti is the one who's regarded as the puncher in the fight.
Roy, I'll tell you why he's doing that. Because he doesn't want to take the chance of throwing too many punches and leaving himself open and getting hit. That's why a guy doesn't throw punches.
I know this, but if you want to win the fight, that's your only chance.
Which is why Tommy Parks asked Tracy Patterson if he really wanted to win the fight.
Arturo is starting to move his head more now than he was in the early part of the fight.
He's boxing better than he did in the early part of the fight. He's up on his toes. He's using the jab more effectively. Not the only thing he isn't doing is moving his head.
His right eye does have a little bit of a nick up under it, but Patterson's is almost closed.
Yep.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Result of all those left hooks by Arturo Gatti. Big round for Gatti. Only 2 more left.
So Tracy,
I can't see him.
Well, you can't see him.
I can't see him that good.
Well, your nose is clogged up. That won't make you can't see him. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be in your eyes. Got to make you can't see him. What you got to do? You're out there anyway. You're out there anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you may as well throw some punches. Hit him. You got to stop him. You got to stop him. I'm telling you. When you get in there and don't grab him with the left hand, don't put left hand on, just keep punching. Listen.
He only have to knock you out to win you, right? So the fight is easy. Look, you just like you promote, nothing in your face. Why you want to get my job into wrong?
Second down! Go, second. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back.
It's your fight, yells Purnell Whitaker. Everybody in the building seems to know it. Can Patterson do anything about it?
He was complaining in his corner that he couldn't see him and he can't breathe. So he has 2 big problems wrong. Gatti has boxed a beautiful fight. If Patterson is not careful here, he'll get knocked out in these last 2 rounds.
Well, and a cumulative punishment knockout for Gatti at this point would probably be justice. They've fought 22 rounds up to this point, and Arturo has won the vast majority of them, at least in our eyes.
He's basically beating Patterson with one hand, a jab.
Here I am. Let him go. Let him go.
You heard Hector Roca telling Arturo Gatti between rounds, he's got to knock you out, so now the fight is easy. Pernell Whitaker saying to Arturo Gatti, don't lose this fight, it's yours.
He's fighting as smart of a fight as you can fight at this point.
And probably the best news of the night for Arturo Gatti is that neither eye has swollen shut. So for the moment, he seems to be beyond that crisis in his career.
And he hasn't had any problem with his hand either, Jim, using 8-ounce gloves for the first time since he had his operation.
Certainly he's still throwing the left with a lot of resolution.
A lot of times an injured right hand will make you do that.
All right, break, let him go. No wrestling, no wrestling.
As an amateur, I learned to knock people out with the left hook because of my right hand staying injured so much.
And what an advantage it is for you now. Gatti's hand was put back together by Dr. Charles Malone at Beth Israel Hospital in New York, a man who is well known in boxing circles. There's a left and a right by Patterson.
Let him go. No wrestling, no wrestling.
Gatti ties him up. Dr. Malone doing the kind of surgery for Gatti that he's done for many other fighters.
Oh, good left hook by Gatti.
And that'll be one thank you from Gatti after tonight if things go as they appear they're going to here.
He's giving the boxer a boxing lesson, Roy.
Yes, he is. But I always thought he was the boxer and that Patterson was the puncher. Mainly because Patterson doesn't move his head much and he doesn't throw a numerous amount of punches. We haven't seen but about 2 or 3 punches from Patterson all night. I never saw Patterson as a boxer.
It's almost as if Patterson has conceded defeat here.
That's why I say I think he may be knocked out within the next couple of rounds if he's not careful. He's ready to go down.
Not excited. Hey, 3 minutes. I want you to finish like this. Okay? Listen, the champ.
Last round we touch gloves in the head.
Come on, okay. Hey, low. You understand?
Last round we touch gloves in the center.
Okay, Arturo. No opening for nothing.
See that, man? You should have said that to me, Tracy. If you don't get him this round, Tracy, you'll be able to breathe as long as you want. So just go out and get him, yeah? Trey, don't
I can't see. I want the same fight. Yeah, chin down, and just
get out of the ring. Stay back. Touch gloves. Nice swing last round.
Last piece of advice from Pernell Whitaker to Arturo Gatti, keep that chin down. Gatti, with a masterful boxing performance over the course of the past 3 rounds, has now thrown, by CompuBox numbers, more than 600 more punches in the fight than Tracy Patterson has launched. And if Gatti can box this effectively against future opponents, Roy Jones, this stands him in good stead for a long and successful championship reign, either here or up at 135 pounds.
More than likely at 135 pounds.
Yeah, I think he wants to fight Azuma Nelson if Nelson should beat Genera Hernandez, which is by no means a sure thing. In fact, I like Hernandez. Otherwise, he'll move up to the lightweight division.
More combinations from Gatti. Patterson unable to follow his corner's dictates to go out and try to end the fight. Gets in one right hand, but again, Arturo Gatti throwing bunches of punches to the one at a time for Tracy Patterson.
No way you can beat a guy like Arturo when he's throwing so many combinations and you're only throwing one punch. Your only chance is to get lucky and knock him out. And usually you're so weak from absorbing so many of his punches until that doesn't work.
And the operative term there is luck, because at this point, a knockout for Patterson would have to come from luck. He just hasn't done enough damage.
If you put a fedora on this kid Gatti, he would look like somebody out of a 30s movie.
Wouldn't he?
Double-breasted suit and a gray fedora.
He ought to be nicknamed Body and Soul. He's that kind of a fighter.
Yes, he is.
All right, break out. Let him go. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back.
Tracy Patterson has been an outstanding fighter for a number of years. He just came up against somebody too young, too strong, and too good.
Gatti with a little display for the crowd, just to finish things up on a high note. So many times in a rematch, all you get is a more extreme version of what happened the first time around. If Arturo Gatti won a close fight in Madison Square Garden in December of '95, he would appear to have won a lopsided victory tonight.
He put an exclamation point on that first fight tonight.
A big exclamation point.
Trainer Hector Roca celebrating there, along with manager Pat Lynch. Patterson threw 16 total punches in the 12th round and took another 3-minute beating from Arturo Gatti.
Come on, baby! Come on.
Letterman, your final scorecard in the fight.
Jim, this one was too easy. 117-109, a big 8-point win for Arturo Gatti. What can you say? I was trying to watch him. You know, there's no rhythm. I was looking for jab, jab right, hook, hook right, but he changes the rhythm all the time and just keeps coming, keeps punching, won this fight from here to tomorrow. By the way, round 8, when Battle took away a point, it becomes 9-9, so Tracy gets an even round. But I thought Tracy only won the first round, the 6th round. That was it. Everything else to Arturo Gatti.
And you gave Gatti a 10-8 round in the, following round.
If you go down on the end of a punch, it's a knockdown. If Battle doesn't see the slip, he sees a punch being thrown, he's got to call it a knockdown.
And he did.
If Battle calls it a knockdown, you have to go along with him. What can you do?
That's what I said. It was the timing of the thing. He saw the left hook. He saw the guy go down. He thought it was a knockdown. Immaterial. Certainly it's good for all of us that the little controversies that could have been so pivotal in a close fight will amount to nothing here. Michael Buffer with the final judge's decision.
We go to the scorecards. Biba Exton scores about 118 to 108. David McCullough scores at 117 to 109.